I'd like to introduce Astor Boozer, our regional conservationist for the Natural Resources Conservation Service in the West Region. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and I'm glad to be here. And thanks, Dave, for the invite. And it was Dave and I guess Martha Moore. We had an opportunity to visit back in D.C. at an opportunity where I was talking to the Club 20 group, just kind of discussing overall programs and activities. So I'm glad to be here, and once again, thanks to Dave and the Colorado River District for hosting this here type of meeting and discussion. Definitely, I have enjoyed myself listening to the topics this morning that that were presented, and the discussions. Definitely some key issues as we try to move forward, not only in Colorado, but when you look at the overall river basin, there's some key things that are going on that we definitely need to be aware of. Before I get really started on anything that I'd like to comment on, I apologize, folks, but I do not have a PowerPoint presentation, so please forgive me, all right? And so we'll work on that for the next one and stuff like that. But just to get to some points and into the overall agenda, where it talks about, targeting ag for efficiency and conservation, there's like 3 questions there that I'm gonna try to address at this here particular point. And the first one there really is opportunities for agriculture water efficiency through recent Farm Bill legislation. And I think quite a few of those points that I want to make have been somewhat hit on today, but the Farm Bill, the most recent Farm Bill that we had, opened up the opportunities for the RCPP, Regional Conservationist Partnership Program, which has been key. And I know the River District is thoroughly engaged in that particular program the first year out, and even into our second year as we move forward. And I'll talk more about the RCPP as we get further into this here. The EQIP program is one that has been one of our long-standing programs, but the most recent Farm Bill also really combined quite a few of our other programs into one financial assistance, customer service type of program as well. So we have that one. When you look also into the program Cigi, our Conservation Innovative Grant, and that's one that we do at a state level and also at a national level as well. That gives us these opportunities to where innovative ideas, whether it is within a river district or something that's associated with salinity or crop production or rotation, but some open ideas that a company, an entity, or someone can pull together of ways that we can look at addressing agriculture and conservation needs that are on the landscape. So that is a great opportunity that we are welcome and open to for those particular ideas. And I just want to mention a little bit on our CIGs as well. Proposals that whether it's an individual or an entity brings to the table are always key. And I'll just mention one proposal that I received last week. It was from a company in the southeast part of the nation, but they were looking at issues that we're dealing with in the Lake Erie basin there with the Great Lakes, and they were talking about and working with sorghum production, that they're using this here. It's a hybrid that they've actually developed to where it can actually pull phosphorus out of the soil, and actually it can be used as a crop. So there's more discussion and development there. Also, this same company is looking at ways of where they can actually have improved efficiencies of desalination of water bodies and things, and they were really targeting some efforts towards the Salton Lake issue there as well. So ideas that are out there and available is what gives us those opportunities to try some things, see if it works, and if it works, give those opportunities to the landowners that we're working with. We can tie it into our particular program. With that, also, we look at different practices that we have, and a lot of times they're interim because we haven't studied it for enough, but interesting enough for us to take a chance on it and really do something that gives us an opportunity to really vet it for a while and see if it works. If it works, then we put it into our system to where we have opportunities for landowners, districts, or whoever it might be to try to use some of those things. So that ties into a lot of the activities when it comes to the Farm Bill. You know, a couple of other big issues that the RCPP, and I'll go back to that for a second. The last two P's, the partnership program, and it's been mentioned several times here today, the overall partnership. And I think this here is a great forum, a great opportunity to look and see, and I think the last presenter at his, when they were looking at the group, the list of folks there, and I didn't count the number, but guessing it had to be over 20 or so entities or folks that were associated with that working group. So the partnership is really key, and the RCPP and having folks really engaged in bringing additional dollars to the table. As Clint was saying, you know, shrinking budgets from the federal side, and staff numbers are not increasing. So when you look at where everyone is having to deal with, if you can bring those opportunities together, you can actually do a better job. So the leveraging, whether it's federal dollars that we're leveraging with non-federal dollars, is really key, and that's the nexus and really important part of the RCPP, is that you have those opportunities to bring those dollars, and actually to increase the overall focus and the actual funds that come to the Farm Bill gives us where we can actually stretch those out and move them out further to give more opportunities. So collaborative ideas, great opportunities is where we really have been successful. As you talk more about partnerships, there's about 3 or 4, depending on who you talk to. I'll just say about 3 items that are very important when it comes to partnerships and actually helping the partnerships be successful. Common goals is one particular item. You know, if you have those common goals, and it's not that all of your particular goals and items that you're looking at are the same, but there's overlap in what you're trying to accomplish. So those common goals, and then the science-based approach. You know, our agency, the Natural Resources Conservation Service, the work that we do, it's all science-based, and that's something that you can really hang your hat on. So science-based is also a key part there. Also looking at targeting these particular projects. I think in the overall part there, the efficiency of targeting ag for efficiency and conservation. Targeting your efforts are key. We, and within the NRCS, use a slogan of, you know, the shotgun approach, to where you just kind of scatter and you hit, you know, whatever you hit. Some people would say that is successful if it hits what they're working on. But we've been more successful when we can actually take those dollars and target those to a particular priority resource concern. If you have those priorities, you can target that initial priority that everybody may have more interest in, and then weed your way down through the system. But you get more people, you get more opportunity, you get more success by utilizing that targeted effort there. So just to touch a little bit on the second question that was lying in there, it says, ag water is a target for new urban supplies. I think it's been quite a bit said about agriculture and the use of water, and how the urban sector is looking for that ag water to be that supplement that they're needing. You know, the lunch discussion that was heard really lets us know that those opportunities for urban settings to really do a great job. And I would just say as John was mentioning, Las Vegas, you know, and I've done it myself, been there and seen all of the fountains and things, and wonder, okay, how are these folks really doing this, and don't they know that there's water issues? But we've seen that there are some efficiencies. So even though the target, you know, I think still may be focused on agriculture, agriculture still has a key point that we need to play. There's opportunities for us to improve our efficiencies within, you know, this particular watershed, the Colorado River watershed, but, you know, nationwide as well, to where we actually can have the input and the work that we're doing within our watersheds, have our urban communities and other folks that are outside see that the agriculture sector is really taking that additional responsibility to be successful. if we can conserve and preserve and be more efficient, I think that's where part of the programs that we're working out, this RCPP project that we have here, is really focusing on improved efficiencies of what we're doing. We also have a salinity program that is associated and tied in within the RCPP. So there's multiple opportunities of partnering, we're leveraging funds, we're actually making some progress, and I definitely know we'll be successful in getting some good conservation on the ground and addressing our resource concern and the water issues that we're dealing with. A couple of items I wanted to just add on that as we move forward with successful partnerships and really addressing issues when it comes to water efficiency. The excuse me. Successful partnerships benefit also in the diverse partnerships that we have. I mean, agriculture community plays a key role, but you also have the urban sector that needs to be engaged, because if people are not understanding what the overall importance or the impacts are, or how they fit into the overall concern or the overall question, is key. Education really ties into an important part of that. So a lot of times I have the opportunity to visit with some of our urban schools and talk to some of the students there and ask the questions. And I'm sure you guys have heard this before. You ask the question of where does your corn flakes or your milk or whatever come from? And a lot of times the kid's answer is from the grocery store. So there's a missing link with the overall importance within a particular watershed. And so additional education are some things that we have been focusing on, and we really need to continue to have that particular focus, because we all play a key role in the water issues, conservation issues, and agriculture in general. I'll digress a little bit and throw this one in just for good measure. So I was talking with some military folks here recently, and we were talking Homeland Security, and some people that know me probably heard this before. But my whole spiel was, I got on the bandwagon and said, well, guys, if we can't afford to feed ourselves, or we don't have the food, who would we expect to actually feed this nation and stuff? And I say, when you look at it from that perspective, Homeland Security and agriculture go hand in hand, and that is very key as we move forward. And I think the agriculture sector plays that role. We have to keep our agriculture strong. So as we move forward, work with our urban communities, our cities, whatever it might be, that is key in this year partnership, that everybody plays a key role, and we need to have that discussion with folks as we move forward. Okay. How ag can stay in business while finding new operational and legal ways to direct more water to cities, and a crucial experiment still being played out. So I think that goes back to quite a few of the items that I was mentioning earlier. You know, the agricultural sector, water use, opportunities to diversify, educational side of things as well. Thank you very much. Educational side of things as well. But the water using crops, high water using crops. Also, we need to take the opportunity to take a look at these lower or less water using crops in our overall system. Now, I know that has to be a market there, but we, not only NRCS, but other entities that we've been working with, other landowner groups and folks are really focusing on those opportunities of being more efficient, reducing that water usage. And an example is the Ogallala watershed that we're working on in that aquifer. So we've really had some focused, targeted efforts, but the opportunities and education that we've been dealing with landowners, there are some landowners that really have changed their overall cropping system to where they're so much more efficient. Some have actually even gone from irrigated to non-irrigated. So those educational, those opportunities, those innovative grants or new ideas of how we can actually do conservation, be strong in agriculture, and be successful are still keys that we need to work continuously on. You know, part of some additional RCPP projects are looking at ways that we can continue to be efficient by utilizing new crops, crop rotations, more efficient technology and things. Those items are changing and are here for us to really use. One other key point that we've discussed is also the overall mindset, the social side of why we do what we do. And I think that is key. We had a discussion at our lunch table. I think Pat really elaborated on that. Key is that, I had asked the question of, why do certain, or the studies at the university that people do what they do. And we've had discussions and have had discussions with sociologists on really getting down to, whether it's an urban sector or an agricultural sector. Sometimes it's tradition of what people are used to doing, but that mindset of why are you not changing, or what would it take for you to change? Is there a financial side that really changed? I think we got down to the point that it's what it gets to when it ties and plays into your heartstrings on what you're doing. If you can see it, maybe it affects you a lot better. I think someone referenced earlier that if they were standing in the river, in the bed of the river, and they actually had that true feeling of what was happening there. So I think that plays into how we make decisions and move forward. Is if it has that effect, or we feel that effect, we're more apt to make those adjustments and changes. So that social side of things is where we have to continue to inform, educate, and work with folks as we move forward. So those are some key things that we have as an agency been looking forward to, trying to address as we move forward with all of our Farm Bill programs, not only RCPP, but our EQIP program. And going back to the partnership, the dollars that we bring to the table and that we can leverage with our partner dollars, that is where we can actually gain those additional successes, because there's other things that folks bring that are going to be beneficial to the landowners there and the folks that we serve within the watershed, within the basin. So with that, I could probably ramble on a little bit longer, but I'll give a few minutes back.